Okay, uh, I am doing now a quick tutorial with a basic overview of creating shapes and drawing some basic drawing in Premiere. Okay, so I've already created a sequence and I've named it main sequence. I've got my default 3 video layers and audio layers. I'm going to redistribute those tracks a little bit. I'm going to click in the middle between video 1 and audio 1 and push down so I can create more space, right, in my timeline for additional layers. And I'm going to go ahead and add some more layers right now. So I'm going to right click in this area, the track header, right, and I'm going to say add tracks. And I'm going to add about 4 layers for now after video 3 by default, and I'm going to click OK, and it adds 4 layers. The 7th one is kind of blocked, but I'm going to just click and drag down a little bit here so you can see that I've got 7 layers. Okay, so I'm going to keep my playhead in the timeline, active timeline. I'm going to go up here to graphics and titles. We go to new layer. We've been using text so we can create, titles and that kind of stuff. But now we're going down in some of the basic shapes. So I'm going to draw a house, okay, with a little background. Pretty simple. And you can use these as an example, using these shapes to start with, right? So I'm going to click on that. It gives me a rectangle over here in the program. I'm going to drag it and make it a little bigger. Position it more or less in the center. I'm just clicking on it. You can see that it's added it down here in the timeline, right? So I'm going to click down here in the timeline on the playhead, and I'm going to magnify that. It's going to give me about a 5-second clip, right? If it's still selected here, then I can, again, move it. So I'm going to go with that for now, right? And then I'm going to go, while this is selected here in the timeline, and I'm clicking back down here in the timeline so that this is selected, the timeline, the sequence is active. I'm going to go to graphics and titles, and I'm going to upgrade this to source graphic, okay, which adds it in the project panel. I'm going to name that right here. I'm going to call it house, okay, so that's in. Save, Control S, Command S, whatever you want to do. Then I'm going to select away from that layer, right? I'm just going to deselect that so it's not highlighted, but I am still in the timeline. You can see that my blue line is around the timeline / sequence. I'm going to go up to graphics and titles and add another layer, right? And I'm going to do a polygon, which is going to give me basically a triangle. Now, by default, it's drawing everything, it's filling it with gray. Let me make this panel a little bigger so you can see better. Okay, for now, we can resize it later. I'm going to grab in here, I'm going to push it up. It's not doing it. Hang on a second, because I grabbed the anchor point. You can also select that, go to the effects control, right, and adjust position and scale. In this case, I'm going to adjust the Y position so I can, because it's kind of like jammed up over here. Okay, actually, if I want to see it again, I'm going to select here. I'm going to select the vector motion. I think it's, where'd it go? Let's see here. There it is. Oh, it was kind of blended in. It was blended into the box, right? The house part, right? So this is my roof. Okay. All right. Let me expand this a little bit. This is kind of all crunched up here. I'm just expanding that. All right. So I'm going to adjust it with the Y. Okay. And select it, and I'm going to make it bigger, right? Because this is a roof. So I've got the vector motion selected here. So I'm just kind of dragging this out. So it kind of sits over the part of the house, okay? So deselect, I'm sorry, keep that selected, right, in the timeline, go up to graphics, and upgrade to source graphic, right? It adds that in my project panel, click on that and call it roof, okay, boom, all right, save again, deselect from that layer, and then repeat, rinse and repeat. We'll make it chimney. Okay, boom. Graphics titles, new layer, go back to rectangle, right? It's going to give me the same size it did originally. Now I would just drag that away from that because it's going to blend in there. And I'm just going to make this like skinnier. I'm just going to drag it horizontally, and I'm going, sometimes because it's so small, it's hard to your pointer to give you the pointer, right? And you can see it's giving me these little arrows. So just select it. You have this open. If this is the selected layer in your sequence and you select effects control, position your playhead at the very beginning, this is the layer that you have currently selected. So turn on position and scale, even though I'm not really messing with scale right now. And then you can reposition it now, right? Actually turn on your vector, right? You get your bounding box. I accidentally just clicked. I'm going to undo that. Okay, so select your vector. And now, even though that whole screen has that sort of bounding box, or what we call the wireframe, you're actually only adjusting the chimney. So you can move that now, right? Just like we did previously with working with titles, right? That vector motion selection gives you essentially comparable to what you would do in Photoshop and other programs. It's like a transform tool. Okay, so now I've got my house. I'm going to deselect in the timeline so I can release all those layers. So now I've got basic house, roof, and the chimney. Now let's go ahead and click on that third layer that we just created, which is the chimney, right? So select that. Let's go back up and add that to the project panel. Upgrade source graphic, right? It adds it and name it chimney. Okay, boom. So now you've got three layers. They don't update down here in the sequence, which would be great. I could try to figure that out, but right now you at least know these layers are here. And you can confirm them here by going back to source, right up here, double click, right? And let's do that again. There's the chimney, there's the house, and there's the roof. It's the original size. We've resized it here. So this is what it's actually looking like. So now let's color that in, right? So click on the graphic, the first layer, which is your house. Okay. If you double click it, now it also opens this text panel. Just get rid of that. And then it opens up here. It's actually giving you motion effects. But if you click up here where it says shape, right? And you can rename that here too, so you know that this is the, in this case, this is the house. So I'm just going to name it house. Okay. And then you access the properties, right? So let's click on fill. I'm going to make this kind of like brown. Okay. Okay. Boom. I'm going to put a stroke on there. And I'm going to click the width, right? And I'm going to hit 15 and give me like a little border, right? A little stroke. I'm not going to worry about shadow and any of that stuff. Just keep it simple. Okay. So that's done. Click, close that out, right? And let's close that out again. Okay. So now we've got the house basically colored, and I'm going to do a save. And let's go to the roof, which is the second layer. Double click on that. I'm going to see about preferences to see if I can avoid getting that other text panel. So now we're on the second layer, which is the roof. I'm going to name it. I'm going to click in that little row that says shape, and I'm going to click it, highlight that, and call it roof. Yes, and you see the pen tool there. I'm not going to cover the pen tool on this one. That's another option where you can reshape these default templates and make them more customized. But we're going to stay away from that right now. We're going to go fill, right? So let me color in my roof. I'm going to make it a little different, maybe a little lighter color. I don't know. Yeah, let's make it like a little yellow. There you go. That sounds like fun. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to add a stroke. I'm going to make it the same width. Remember, when you see those blue values, that's a hot text field. That means you can click it and just change the value. Enter a value, like in this case, a number. That looks really wide, so I'm going to make that a little narrower. I'm going to make it like 10. Okay, there you go. All right, so I've got that. I'm going to stay away from shadow. I'm going to close. Now I've got my roof. I'm going to save. Okay, and now I've got my chimney. All right, so let's select on the chimney, which is video 3. And I just clicked it, right? Let me do that again so I can repeat that. Double click, right? Close out that text thing. Click up here where it says shape. Rename it chimney. Okay, and do my fill. I don't know. Let's make this. Well, why don't let's have some fun. Let's call it make it pink. Boom. Stroke. I'm going to add a 10 pixel width stroke, and I'm going to close that out. Okay. So I've got all that. Now I've got a little problem here, right? This looks kind of odd because the chimney is sitting in front of the house, right? We want it to be behind the house, right? Behind the roof at least. So this is just a simple layering fix, right? We need to move this layer, the chimney. I'm going to slide it over, and I'm going to move the roof up to 3, and I'm going to reposition the chimney on 2, because that way it sits behind that layer. So whatever layer is on the higher track is in the foreground, right? So you can see the house is at the very bottom layer, so it's behind the roof, which is on 3, but we don't technically have to put the chimney behind the house because you don't see that part, but you definitely want it behind the roof. So it's on 2. And now you can see maybe I want that chimney to stick up a little bit, so I'm going to click on it in the timeline. I'm going to go into effects control, and I already had a couple keyframes there, so I'm going to snap to those keyframes and adjust the Y value, right, to bring it up a little taller. Right? Maybe match the roof line up top. Okay, so I'm going to say Control S, and we're going to save that. This is the first part. I'm going to do a second part where we're going to add a background and like a door, and we're going to use some other techniques so you can get a basic understanding if you choose to incorporate some shapes into your project.